Hey folks, MJB here, and I'm back to give you more tips, useful information, valuable websites you should know about. All of this to help make your crypto journey that much better. First, know that none of this is financial advice. Obviously, do your own research. Don't risk any money that you can't afford to lose. Why don't you quickly go ahead and hit that like button? It helps my channel. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll leave links down below to any of these sites or locations that I discussed today. And thanks for tuning in. As you see here, first I'm on dexscreener.com. If you add the slash Pulsechain, this pulls up all Pulsechain related tokens. So it's a good site to have as one of your favorites. Obviously the prices are down. I'm not happy about it. I'm sure you're not either. We weren't planning on waiting 2 years for this. But hey, things happen. We knew there was going to be a dump, just didn't know it was going to be so soon. But things will turn. We just got to be patient, and I'm confident that things will turn for the better. I know that a lot of PLSX is being burned. I think close to 150 billion has been burned. Over 100 billion PLS has been burned. So, things are looking good for the ecosystem. Let's see here. Why don't we go to the next thing I wanted to show you? All you know and are familiar with the pulsex DEX, exchange. But what I wanted to point out is that because of some recent happenings, there's now a version 1 and a version 2 for you to do, all of your exchanges on. The thing I wanted to point out is that if you're going to be doing a swap, for example, right here, I'm going to be swapping 100 USDC for some PLS. What you should do first is be sure that you shop the price, okay? Because you might get a better rate on V2 than on V1. So it's worth it to take an extra moment to check. So what are we at right now? This is in real time. 100 is going to get me 1,011,90. Okay, so let's go over to version 2 and let's see how different, if any, it will be. Well, it's less. The other one was a million plus, right? I forgot what the number was, a million plus. This one is less than a million. So if I was going to do the swap in our example here, I'd be better off doing it on version 1. Okay? Yeah, we're getting over a million here. Now, is that a huge big deal? No. I mean, we're talking, 1 or 2,000 PLS. But hey, in the grand scheme of things, at some point in the future, that could be a big deal. And moreover, that 1,500, 2,000 PLS difference that we're getting by going to V1 in this example, heck, that could be 8, 10 transactions being paid for right there. So I just wanted to point this out to you. No matter what you're swapping in and out of, definitely shop the price. It's worth your while. What's the next show that I wanted to show you folks? I wanted to show everybody Let's Exchange.io. And the reason why is because besides using the Pulse.Ramp bridge, actually on Pulsechain, to get out, if you want to if you want to, transfer value out, this is a way to transfer value out. So in other words, let's see, I've got an example set up here, and there's no doxing, there's no KYC, no emails needed, nothing. You just connect your wallet. So in our example here, I am pretending to be transferring out about $150 worth of PLS, okay? And so the whole key of this is I'm going to do it through this site, letsexchange.io, instead of using the Pulse.Ramp bridge that they provide on Pulsechain. And the reason why is because this gets me to I can avoid the ETH gas fees. Okay? In other words, I could send this value, in my example here, $148 and change, I could send it directly to any chain I want to send it to. So in this example, I'm sending it to BUSD on the Binance Smart Chain. Okay? So for you folks that have, Binance or Robinhood or Kraken or Coinbase, whatever, I could be sending this directly to my wallet on that centralized exchange, to then obviously once it hits that wallet to then swap out into dollars or whatever currency you're trading in to get it back to your bank account. What this is doing is I could skip sending this to my MetaMask if I want. You might want to send it to your MetaMask, that's fine. So in this example, for about $148 worth of value coming out of Pulsechain, it's going to cost me, what, about $4. Looks like about $4.20. So that's great. And like I said, I could, if I wanted to, let's see here, I could send this Ethereum. I could send this directly to my Coinbase account because I use Coinbase, okay? And so this is going to cost me about $7, $7.50, whatever this is going to cost me in fees in this example here. But note, what you could do is you can add a receiving address. So what I would do for me is I would send it to my Coinbase account, to my USDC wallet. I would copy this USDC wallet on Coinbase, right? I would put that as my receiving wallet. Okay, there it is, as my receiving wallet. I'm not going to do it because it takes a few minutes to go through. And I would get that value. I would skip my MetaMask wallet. I'd skip having to pay additional ETH gas fees to send it from my MetaMask wallet to my exchange or however I want to exit the system in terms of getting value out. And it'll just land right here on my Coinbase account. And for me on Coinbase, I don't pay any fees to swap USDC into dollars to then swap it back to my bank account. So bottom line is, you folks might want to go and send it, out to Polygon. Maybe that's your easiest way out. Another good way that's not very expensive, Zchain right here, is to send it out on Avalanche. Because again, you're avoiding the ETH gas fees. That's all I'm trying to get at. And if I wanted to, it might even be cheaper for me to send this value out of Pulsechain directly to Coinbase and send it in Avalanche if I wanted to. Because that way, it's another way I would avoid the ETH gas fees. Just another way to do this. The bottom line is, until Portal X or Change Now or a few of these other sites come up with a way to get value out of Pulsechain, this is one of the ways that I know of right now. And again, you could choose where you want to send it to, either directly to your exchange or just to your MetaMask wallet. Just wanted you folks to be aware of that. Let's talk about, I found this impermanent loss calculator. Again, I will leave the link down below. What's this saying? Impermanent loss calculator.anvil.app. And again, I'll leave the link down below for you guys. But this is really cool because I'm not going to get into a full evaluation of impermanent loss, but I want you folks to see the risks of providing liquidity and the fluctuations. So in this example, let's say I have a stable coin that's worth $1, and let's say that it's paired with a token that's worth 3 zeros and a 1. Hint, hint. Let's say, for example, PLS. So let's say, well, the stable coin never changes in value, so it stays at $1. But let's say in this example that the PLS goes up in value, up to 3017, which is very possible. That's not even a huge rise. But let's say it does that. You hit calculate, and what this is going to show you here is it's going to show you that I would suffer a 3.4% impermanent loss if I provided liquidity in this example. So in other words, it's saying if I held $1,000 of both tokens, right? Well, in this first example, I'd still have the same amount of tokens because I never put them up in liquidity, in a liquidity pair. I would just still have the tokens just sitting in my wallet, and they'd be worth $2,700 if I had $1,000. If I had $1,000, if you held $1,000 of both tokens, then this is what the value would be, $2,700 if this one particular token went up in value in our example, right? But if I would have put them up for liquidity, you could see what I would have suffered. I would only have $2,600 worth of tokens, okay? Because as it would turn out, by all the swaps that happened, I'd end up having $1,300 of USDC and only 7.7 million PLSX instead of the 10 million that I started with in this example. It's just showing you how you lose out. But this one thing that this doesn't show is it's not showing the yield or fees that I'd be earning in the liquidity pool. So it's very important to see what kind of fees you're earning based on the pair that you might want to put up, and make sure that those fees are adequate enough to cover any kind of losses, because right here I'd have a $100 loss in this example. Let's do one more example. Let's talk about a token that might be worth 0.01. Hint, hint. Let's say Hex, for example. And let's say you paired up Hex with PLS. right now, these would be the approximate prices, approximately. Well, let's say that the hex went down in value. Let's say it goes down a little bit in value for whatever reason. I can't foresee the future, but it goes down in value to this amount, 2085, off of this 1 cent. But again, for whatever reason, let's say PLS goes up in value off of our example, well, off of what it's currently worth. And these outcomes aren't too outrageous. This could certainly happen for various reasons in the market that are beyond my control and me foreseeing. Let's calculate and see what happens, you guys. It would show that I'd suffered a 5.7 impermanent loss, 5.7%. So it's saying that if I held $1,000 of both tokens and just didn't do liquidity, that they'd be worth $2,550 if I just never put up liquidity, right? But if I did put up liquidity, again, it's showing that I would only have about, well, it would show that I had $2,550. If I did put up liquidity, this is what I would have suffered. I would now only have about $2,400 worth of tokens. Because if you look at it closely, you could see that I'd end up with 141,000 hex instead of having 100,000. So I'd be holding more of the token that went down in value, and I now would hold 7 million PLS instead of 10 million if I just didn't do anything. So now I'd be holding less of the token that went up in value. So I'm just showing you again, not counting yield or fees that you might earn. So I'd be down about $150 less whatever fees I accumulated or earned by providing liquidity. Okay, that's the one factor you always got to consider. Always check to see what those percentages are to see if it's worth your while, if it's going to cover your potential losses. For example, if something like this, which is very reasonable to expect that this could occur. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? If you have any questions, leave them down below for me in the comments. I'd be happy to try to answer them, okay? Let's see. I wanted to point out to you guys this fatty.io. Again, I'll leave the links down below, okay? Pretty cool site just because, well, one, you could enter your address. If you go to My Portfolios right here, you could copy and paste your address to any wallet, and then it just pulls up all your holdings. Shows you the yield that you've earned, shows you all your holdings. It's pretty cool, and it shows it on all different chains, too. I'm not going to do it. I want to dox myself completely, but I'm just showing you that you could do that. It's got all the applicable tokens for you to check out. Also, please note, you could hit links directly to Hex, directly to the PulseX DEX. You can go directly to Power City, the PLS Burn site, their PUX site. You could do a whale watch site that shows all the big wallets and what they're doing. Just a pretty cool site overall. I just wanted to point it out to you folks. And then one other thing I wanted to comment on, I've heard that there might be an ETF coming out that might hold where you could buy shares of your favorite tokens all with one token. So you might be able to buy in this ETF one share that might hold in this ETF account, you know, say PLS, PLSX, EHEX, PHEX, Hedron, ICOSA, I don't know, and INC token. So anyway, we're looking out for this ETF. I don't know if it's going to come out or not. I just heard rumors that it might. Be pretty cool if it did. That's really all I got for you guys now. I hope you guys found value from this. I hope there was something that I hit on that you didn't know about. Leave questions and comments down below. Please go ahead and hit that like button. It helps my channel. Please subscribe. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until the next time.